Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're taking a trip back in time to ancient Rome to witness the construction of one of the most iconic structures ever built, the Colosseum. We all know the image, that massive, crumbling amphitheater that's become a symbol of Rome itself. But have you ever stopped to think about how it was actually built? How did a civilization nearly 2,000 years ago create something so vast, so complex, and so enduring? It's a story of incredible engineering, immense manpower, and a political vision that shaped an empire. So grab your hard hats because we're about to dive deep into the blueprint of the Colosseum. Our story begins in the year 69 AD, a chaotic period in Roman history known as the Year of the Four Emperors. Rome was reeling from civil war after the fall of Emperor Nero. When Vespasian finally emerged, victorious and founded the Flavian dynasty, he knew he needed to do more than just win battles. He had to win over the hearts and minds of the Roman people, and what better way to do that than with a massive public project? Nero had built himself an extravagant, sprawling palace right in the heart of Rome called the Domus Aurea, or Golden House. It was opulent, it was private, and the people of Rome resented it. Vespasian made a brilliant political move. He decided to drain the artificial lake that was part of Nero's palace and, in its place, build a colossal amphitheater for the people. The message was clear. Where a tyrant had built for his own pleasure, the new emperor would build for public enjoyment. This new structure would be known as the Flavian Amphitheater, what we call the Colosseum today. Construction kicked off around 70 to 72 AD now. You can't just build something this big anywhere. The site, formerly Nero's Lake, was a marshy valley. The first major challenge was the foundation. Roman engineers were masters of their craft. They dug a massive donut-shaped trench about 30 feet deep and filled it with concrete. We're not talking about modern Portland cement, but a unique Roman invention. They used a mix of lime, volcanic ash called pozzolana, and rubble. This Roman concrete was incredible. It was strong, durable, and could even set underwater. This solid foundation was crucial for supporting the immense weight that would be placed upon it. With the foundation set, it was time to build upwards. The primary material for the Colosseum's outer skeleton was travertine limestone, quarried from the hills of Tivoli, about 20 miles away. Imagine the logistics. Huge blocks of stone, some weighing several tons, had to be transported all the way to Rome. They were likely moved on wooden carts pulled by teams of oxen. Once at the site, a system of massive wooden cranes, powered by human and animal-operated treadmills, hoisted these blocks into place. What's fascinating is that they didn't use mortar to hold these main travertine blocks together. Instead, they used iron clamps. Workers would carve grooves into the stones and then fit over 300 tons of iron clamps to bind them. This is actually one of the reasons we see so many holes in the Colosseum today. During the Middle Ages, these valuable iron clamps were scavenged and melted down, leaving behind the pockmarks that scar the structure. The basic framework of the Colosseum is a series of arches, 80 of them on each level. This design was pure genius. Arches are incredibly efficient at distributing weight, allowing the structure to be built to such a great height without collapsing. The Romans didn't invent the arch, but they perfected it and used it on an unprecedented scale. These repeating arches also gave the building a sense of rhythm and grandeur. While the outer wall was gleaming travertine, the inner parts of the Colosseum were built with different materials. The Romans were practical. They used less expensive materials like volcanic tuff stone and brick-faced concrete for the interior walls and vaults. This saved money and time. It's a great example of Roman pragmatism. Use the fancy stuff where it shows, and the practical stuff where it doesn't. Now let's talk about the workforce. Who actually built this thing? It's believed that much of the labor force consisted of tens of thousands of prisoners of war brought to Rome after the First Jewish-Roman War. This provided a massive and free pool of workers for this colossal undertaking. However, the construction also required highly skilled engineers, architects, masons, and artists. It was a combination of brute force and incredible skill. This massive team worked relentlessly for about a decade. One of the most impressive features of the Colosseum was its seating arrangement, or the cavea. It could hold an estimated 50,000 to 80,000 spectators. And just like a modern stadium, the seating was tiered according to social class. The emperor and the senators got the best seats, right down near the action. The next level up was for the noble class, the equites. The middle sections were for ordinary Roman citizens, the plebeians. And the very top sections, the nosebleeds, were for the lower classes, foreigners, and women. The logistics of getting 50,000 people in and out efficiently was a huge challenge. The architects solved this with the vomitoria. These were the 80 arched entrances at ground level, which led to a series of passages and staircases. This system was so effective that it is said the entire crowd could exit the Colosseum in just a matter of minutes. In fact, the basic principles of the vomitoria are still used in stadium design today. But the real magic was happening beneath the arena floor. The hypogeum, a two-level subterranean network of tunnels and chambers, was a later addition by Vespasian's son, Emperor Domitian. This underground world was the backstage of the games. It housed gladiators, wild animals, and stage machinery. There were animal pens, holding rooms, and armories. A complex system of elevators and trapdoors allowed for dramatic entrances. Imagine watching a gladiator fight, and suddenly, a lion appears as if from nowhere, hoisted up from the hypogeum right into the middle of the arena. It would have been an absolutely stunning spectacle. Another mind-blowing feature was the velarium, a massive retractable awning that could be stretched over the top of the Colosseum to provide shade for the spectators. This canvas canopy was anchored to 240 masts positioned around the top of the attic level. It took a special detachment of Roman sailors, experienced with sails and rigging, to operate it. Think about the engineering required to manage a fabric roof that big, essentially covering acres of open space. Sadly, Vespasian didn't live to see his masterpiece completed. He passed away in 79 AD. His son, Titus, finished the construction and inaugurated the Flavian Amphitheater in 80 AD with 100 days of spectacular games. These games included gladiator combats, animal hunts, and even mock naval battles, where the arena floor was flooded with water. The construction of the Colosseum was more than just an architectural feat. It was a symbol of Roman power, ingenuity, and a new era of imperial generosity. It was a carefully crafted piece of political propaganda, written in stone and concrete, designed to entertain, control, and awe the population of the largest city in the ancient world. From its clever use of materials to its revolutionary crowd control systems and spectacular stage mechanics, the Colosseum stands as a testament to the genius of Roman engineering. It took a visionary emperor, a brilliant team of architects, and a massive workforce to bring this wonder of the world to life. And there you have it, the incredible story of how the Colosseum was built. It's a structure that has survived earthquakes, fires, and centuries of neglect, yet it still stands today, reminding us of the grandeur and ambition of the Roman Empire. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this journey back in time, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next adventure. See you in the next video.